So I stumbled across a guitar scam on Facebook Marketplace, and I have to say, it's quite honestly a bit perplexing because I'm not entirely sure what whoever's running this is getting out of it. But I thought, better be safe than sorry, I'll show you what's going on because no one really operates these type of things for a benevolent reason. So I'm going to show you how I figured it out and got some of the tricks that you can use to determine if things are a little bit dodgy. So a little bit of backstory, I love a good bargain, who doesn't? Especially when it comes to guitars. And if you're looking for one of those, normally a good place to go is local adverts. So, your Craigslist or your Gumtree if you're in the UK, or your adverts if you're in Ireland. Those are good places, but another good place is Facebook Marketplace because it's localized. It's not like a Reverb or an eBay. Most people who upload things on Facebook Marketplace don't want to ship what they're selling. It's too bulky or they're afraid to ship a guitar, and guitars can be a pain to ship as well. So I get it. Selling locally can be preferable, and people are willing to sell for less to sell locally. So you can get a good bargain, but it's generally local. So I was looking, and this immediately caught my eye. A Gibson Les Paul Custom from 2024 for €1,700? Now, immediately, I'll admit, I thought, oh my gosh, this is an amazing deal. I have to swoop in and grab this. After all, that's a $5,000 guitar for 1,700. Sign me up. The thing is, that lasted for about 3 seconds, and then I thought better of it. Why? There has to be something off. Now, initially I thought, maybe it's not genuine, maybe it's not real. I was looking at the pictures and I was thinking it would have the pickup covers and the pick guard, and those aren't there. But then in the description it says that it does come with them. It was just removed because the owner liked a minimal aesthetic, which is understandable enough. So I was thinking, is this real? And the thoughts went through my head, maybe the serial number, I'll have to check that, and maybe the case isn't correct. Is that medallion on the back correct for a 2024? And if I got so far as to trying to purchase it, those would be things that I would all run through and check, make sure it was all okay. And after all, Facebook is a localized marketplace. You can go and see it for yourself before you buy it. But just something felt off, so I did a little trick. I took some of the description here. Normally I avoid the actual title of what the guitar is. I'll grab something like "it's been gigged a little," some finish on the top, something that's original to this listing. I'll copy and paste it into Google, and I'll find this. A Facebook Market listing. And you'd think, well, this is the same thing, isn't it? Well, this was also listed in 2 weeks ago. This one listed 2 weeks ago in Dublin. And this one listed 2 weeks ago with the same exact description and pictures in Case, South Carolina for $1,500. I would add that both of these were listed by 2 different accounts. And then you look into the accounts, and the accounts are suspicious too. Both started up in 2025 recently, and the only thing that they've done is upload one picture, and it's a profile picture. I think it's fair to say this is not genuine. It's not real. The same guitar being uploaded at the same time by 2 different people in 2 different parts of the world at 2 different prices, by the way. There's something off about that. It's not genuine. Now you might say try a reverse Google image search to see where the pictures came from, but I've never found that to be particularly accurate. Reverse Google image searching will hardly even pull up the original listings. It's very difficult to find. These might be pictures posted in private for sale groups and stuff that you won't find on a Google search. And we've seen this type of thing before when I covered the reverb scams. But the difference between a Facebook scam and a reverb scam is reverb scams tend to be somewhat protected for the buyer. They're more ripping off reverb than the person who's buying. It's very much an inconvenience, and it can be a real pain. But at the end of the day, whether you do it through PayPal, you'll have PayPal coverage. Whether you do it through Reverb, you'll very likely and hopefully have Reverb coverage. With Facebook Marketplace, it is a localized selling system, which allows for multiple ways of scamming, some to be particularly dangerous. For one, Facebook doesn't provide you with any protections, so this is a deal done with you and whoever is behind the other screen, which, as we know, or we figured out, we don't actually know who's there. One could be the traditional way of scamming things on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, where they try and ship the guitar to you, even though they don't have the guitar. They're just going to ask you to pay, maybe even do a, how about you just pay for shipping and then you pay me when the guitar gets there, and the guitar is never going to get there. Something like that, which isn't great. And then I think of potentially an even worse outcome. Most Facebook Marketplace dealings are localized. You'll meet somewhere, you'll swap whatever you've got. And a lot of the time, it's cash only. You know, you hand over your cash, they hand over the item. So if they know that you're going to a place with $1,500 or €1,700 in cash, they tell you to meet a place and they just rob you. It turns from a scam into just a plain mugging. So very much potentially dangerous there. And if this was just 1 or 2 listings, I'd be concerned, but still it wouldn't be, you know, it would be contained a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace again. I found this guitar, and this also felt maybe a little bit too good to be true. A Gibson 120th anniversary 2014 for €975. Now that is a bargain and a half. And I thought, well, actually, that's maybe slightly more believable than the Les Paul Custom, because this has robo-tuners. And you know, those weren't particularly well accepted. Harder to sell in general, especially locally. If you just wanted to do localized here, it would be probably a difficult sell. You'd have to lower your prices considerably. And then I looked at the listing, and it says that shipping is available. And the funny thing about this listing is that I did my same trick. I took a chunk of the listing, I messed around with how much of it was there, I threw it into Google, and I came up with a Facebook link to a marketplace. And when I clicked on it, it was deleted. But I searched in the URL, and the Facebook Marketplace group it was in was a German kitchen selling group. It seemed a little bit weird. Like someone who's trying to sell a guitar wouldn't do it there. Someone who knows how to sell a guitar wouldn't be putting it there. Just some things are off. This also came from an account with just one picture that was uploaded roughly at the same time that the market listing was put up, and that's all that's there. There's no other information about this profile. Just, it's screaming fake. And then we can have a look at another one. I found this one. This is a 2018 Gibson Les Paul Standard for $1,250 in my dreams. Again, listed in Dublin by someone who has one profile picture and nothing else on their profile, and it's all these accounts are made in 2025. I did the same thing. I took a chunk of the listing, put it into Google, and I found another Facebook listing listed by a different person a few months prior for $800 in San Francisco. Same pictures, same everything. It's also worth mentioning on this particular listing that it's a bit of a callback to the previous German kitchen group. This is for a textbook bazaar, posting books for sale or books needed. Yeah, and the mind-blowing thing to me is that someone's put some effort into these. I'm going to report all these listings after this video, but someone's put some effort in to scam people. This is done with nefarious intentions. But I didn't know exactly what they were going to do, so I messaged them. I messaged them through their listings saying, hey, is this still available? You know, posing as a buyer or potential mark for them. And I didn't receive any response from any of them. So I don't know. Maybe it's just they've got so many of these accounts doing them, they haven't got back to me yet after like 6 days or whatever after I messaged. But it's very confusing to me. Either way, there is no positive outlook as to what's happening here. This is done for nefarious reasons, and I think you should be aware of it. Because even if they don't reply back to me, they might reply back to someone and pull the wool over someone's eyes who thinks they're getting a great deal. So, again, the usual thing is, if it seems too good to be true, probably is. If you take a chunk of their listing, mess around with it, throw it into Google, see if it comes up elsewhere from someone else in a completely different part of the world. That's kind of a red flag. And also check the profile of this person. Does it seem like a real person? If it doesn't, it's not worth the risk. So that was my PSA for today. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.